The year is 1813. After years of relentless conflict, the struggle for dominance reaches a critical stage. Coalitions form, massive armies mobilize, and decisive campaigns begin to shape the fate of empires. Across continents, resistance grows stronger, alliances are tested, and the outcome of long-standing wars becomes increasingly uncertain. 1813 stands as a year of turning tides, where determination, strategy, and unity begin to shift the balance of power. In this video, we'll explore the key events of 1813 and how they influence the course of global history. January 5th, the Danish state bankruptcy of 1813 occurs. January 18th to 23rd, War of 1812. The Battle of Frenchtown is fought in modern-day Monroe, Michigan, between the United States and a British and Native American alliance. January 24th, the Philharmonic Society, later the Royal Philharmonic Society, is founded in London. January 28th, Jane Austen's Pride and Prejudice is published anonymously in London. January 31st, the Assembly of the Year 13th is inaugurated in Buenos Aires. February, War of 1812 in North America. General William Henry Harrison sends out an expedition to burn the British vessels at Fort Malden by going across Lake Erie via the Bass Islands in sleighs. But the ice is not hard enough, and the expedition returns. February 3rd, Argentine War of Independence. José de San Martín and his regiment of mounted grenadiers gain a largely symbolic victory against a Spanish royalist army in the Battle of San Lorenzo. February 7th, Napoleonic Wars. Action of February 7th, 1813. The French frigate Aréthuse and the British ship HMS Amelia engage in battle in the Ile de Los on the Guinea coast. Both ships retire unbeaten. February 9th, Prussia abolishes the canton system. February 11th, War of 1812. Construction begins on Fort Meigs in Ohio. Under the command of General William Henry Harrison, Major Amos Stoddard assumes command of its artillery. March 4th, Napoleonic Wars. The French garrison evacuates Berlin, leaving Russian troops able to reach and take the city without a fight. Cyril VI of Constantinople is elected ecumenical patriarch. March 17th, Napoleonic Wars. Prussia declares war on France and introduces the Iron Cross Military Award, backdated to March 10th. March 28th, 1813 to 1814. Malta plague epidemic spreads from Egypt. March 29th, Mexican War of Independence. Battle of Rosillo Creek. The Republican Army of the North defeats the Spanish Royalist Army in modern-day Bexar County, Texas. April 8th, War of 1812. Colonel James Ball arrives at Fort Meigs with 200 dragoons. April 27th, War of 1812. Battle of York. United States troops raid and destroy, but do not hold the capital of Upper Canada, York, modern-day Toronto. May 1st to 9th, War of 1812. Fort Meigs is first besieged by British Allied forces under General Henry Proctor and Chief Tecumseh. May 2nd, Napoleonic Wars. Battle of Lutzen. Napoleon wins against the German alliance. May 11th, 1813. Crossing of the Blue Mountains. Gregory Blaxland, William Lawson, and William Wentworth leave on an expedition to cross the Blue Mountains of Australia. May 20th to 21st. Napoleonic Wars. Battle of Bautzen. Napoleon again defeats his combined enemies. May 27th. War of 1812. In Canada, American forces capture Fort George. June 1st. War of 1812. Capture of USS Chesapeake in Boston Harbor by British Royal Navy frigate HMS Shannon. June 6th. War of 1812. Battle of Stony Creek. A British force of 700 under John Vincent defeats an American force 3 times its size, under William H. Winder and John Chandler. 1813 Crossing of the Blue Mountains. Gregory Blaxland, William Lawson, and William Wentworth succeed in crossing the Blue Mountains, New South Wales, and return home. June 21st, Peninsular War, Battle of Vitoria. A British, Spanish, and Portuguese force of 78,000 with 96 guns under Wellington defeats a French force of 58,000 with 153 guns under Joseph Bonaparte. July. War of 1812. The second siege of Fort Meigs by British Allied forces fails. July 5th. War of 1812. 3 weeks of British raids on Fort Schlosser, Black Rock, and Plattsburgh, New York begin. July 13th. The Carabinieri, the national military police of Italy, are founded by Victor Emmanuel I as the police force of the Kingdom of Sardinia. Missionaries Adoniram Judson and his wife, Anne Hasseltine Judson, arrive in Burma. July 21st. UK Parliament passes the doctrine of the Trinity Act 1813, repealing legal penalties for non-Trinitarian sects such as Unitarians, and codifying religious tolerance in Great Britain. The Toleration Act of 1688 did not apply to Jews, non-Trinitarians, or Roman Catholics. July 23rd. Sir Thomas Maitland is appointed as the first governor of Malta, transforming the island from a British protectorate to a de facto colony. August 12th. Napoleonic Wars. Austria declares war on France. August 19th. Gervasio Antonio de Posadas joins Argentina's second triumvirate. August 23rd. Napoleonic Wars. Battle of Gross-Bären. Napoleon is defeated by Prussia and Sweden. August 26th. Napoleonic Wars. Battle of Katzbach. Napoleon's troops are defeated by Prussia and Russia. August 26th to 27th. Napoleonic Wars. Battle of Dresden. Napoleon's troops are victorious. August 29th to 30th. Napoleonic Wars. First Battle of Culm. French Marshal Vandamme is defeated and captured by Allied coalition forces from Russia, Prussia, and Austria. August 30th. Creek War. Fort Mims Massacre. A force of Creeks belonging to the Red Sticks faction kills hundreds of settlers in Fort Mims, Alabama. August 31st. Peninsular War. Battle of San Marcial. The Spanish army of Galicia under Manuel Freire de Andrade turns back Marshal Soult's last major offensive against Wellington's Allied army. After besieging San Sebastian, Allied troops in Spain rampage, ransack, and burn down the town almost entirely. September. Robert Southey becomes Poet Laureate of the United Kingdom. September 4th. The name of Germany's national card game, Skat, modern-day Skat, appears for the first time in the gaming records of Hans Carl Leopold von der Gabelentz. September 6th. Napoleonic Wars. Battle of Dennewitz. The armies of Napoleon are again defeated by Prussia and Russia. September 10th. War of 1812. Battle of Lake Erie. An American squadron under Commodore Oliver Hazard Perry defeats a British squadron, capturing 6 ships. September 17th. Napoleonic Wars. Second Battle of Culm. The Allied coalition is victorious. Napoleon is forced to halt his advance on Teplitz and withdraw to Leipzig. October 2nd. The Philomathian Society of the University of Pennsylvania is founded, the oldest continuously existing literary society in the United States. October 5th. War of 1812. Battle of the Thames in Upper Canada. William Henry Harrison defeats the British, and native leader Tecumseh is killed in battle. October 14th. After a ceremony in Caracas, Venezuela, the municipality gives Simón Bolívar the title of El Libertador. October 16th to 19th. Napoleonic Wars. Battle of Leipzig. Napoleon is defeated by the forces of the Sixth Coalition. More than 600,000 troops are in the field, with well over 10% killed, wounded, or missing. Many of the German states forming the Confederation of the Rhine defect from Napoleon to the coalition as a result of the battle. October 24th to November 5th. Persia and Russia signed the Treaty of Gulistan at the end of the Russo-Persian War, by which Persia loses modern-day Georgia, Dagestan, and most of Azerbaijan to Russia. October 26th, War of 1812, Battle of the Chateauguay. Charles de Salaberry defeats an American invasion. November 11th, War of 1812, Battle of Chrysler's Farm. An outnumbered British-Canadian force defeats the Americans, forcing them to give up their attempt to capture Montreal. November 21st, an independent government is restored in the Netherlands. December 8th, Ludwig van Beethoven's Symphony No. 7, together with his Wellington's Victory, are premiered in Vienna under the composer's baton in a benefit concert for Austrian and Bavarian soldiers wounded at the Battle of Hanau. December 18th to 19th, War of 1812. British soldiers and native allies invade the United States and are successful in the capture of Fort Niagara and attack Lewiston, New York. December 29th, War of 1812. British soldiers burn Buffalo, New York. Date unknown. Mathieu Orfila publishes his groundbreaking Traité des Poisons, formalizing the field of toxicology. Charles Waterton begins the process of turning his estate at Walton Hall, West Yorkshire, England, into what is, in effect, the world's first nature reserve. Following the death of his father Wasan Saged, Saleh Selassie arrives at the capital Kundi before his other brothers and is made Meridazmak of Shewa. The Supreme Council for the Northern Jurisdiction of the United States of America is founded. Probable date. George E. Clymer invents the Columbian Press, used to print newspapers worldwide. As 1813 comes to an end, the momentum of change is undeniable. Victories bring renewed hope to some, while defeats signal the decline of others, setting the stage for a dramatic conclusion to years of conflict. The events of 1813 remind us that history often reaches its turning points through perseverance, cooperation, and the consequences of decisive action. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like it and subscribe to the channel for more history content.